Bam Bam Gordy, clearly showing the signs and effect of a brutal steel cage battle. And he's going for the pile driver, and DiBiase was able to stop the reversal. And if that pile driver would have worked, if Gordy was able to follow through, this match could have been history.
I think so, but I think just as it has happened, though, it could have been very much the turning point. This could be the turning point right here. And DiBiase got him with a pile driver. DiBiase has nailed Bam Bam, and Bam Bam is motionless. DiBiase's won it. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation. I'm Jim Ross, and my special guest
Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Jimbo.
is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the big man. He's looking awful splendid in that new shirt.
Thank you very much, Jim Ross. You know, I got a new shirt. I got some new specs here. Terry Taylor wanted me to be color coordinated out on TV, so I wanted to be sure I could see what's going on, so I'm all decked out.
You look just simply splendid. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the footage we saw just at the top of the program. Ted DiBiase in Houston, Texas on October 17th beat Terry Gordy in a match that was scheduled to be for the Universal Heavyweight Championship. A lot of controversy surrounding that, and we're going to talk about that situation very specifically in this hour. And we're also going to hear from Michael Hayes. And
BS Hayes.
BS, PS, whatever the case may be. He'll be telling us why he will not be here, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the hour. Also, a special presentation involving Dark Journey. You'll see the Lovers Triangle situation. Hollywood John Tatum will wrestle Eddie Gilbert today.
They better keep their minds on business, not worrying about the skirt outside.
And there's going to be a six-man tag match involving the Giant One-Man Gang, Bad Leroy Brown, and Wild Bill Irwin, all representing Devastation Incorporated against the Missing Link, Gentleman Chris Adams, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I'm looking for the opportunity to wrestle with Chris Adams. It's been a while since I've had that chance, and I know he's a go-getter. That's why me and the Link are teamed up with him.
We'll also be talking about the big Pro Wrestling Illustrated tournament as the hour progresses, and the arrival of Dr. S.D. Williams. We'll be talking about that. Your buddy, I know.
Good to have Doc back. You know, we're going to get back on the road, start running, start pushing some iron. Doc kind of motivates me, and I kind of motivate him.
We'll talk about Dr. Death in the hour, but right now, let's go to ring announcer Mike Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first at 250 pounds from Topeka, Kansas, Art Cruz. And from Houston, Texas at 245 pounds, Gary Young. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in the Tulsa Convention Center. There's a good look at Gary Young. And Hack, this match is a very important match in these two young men.
Both of these guys, I think they're both pretty evenly matched, Jimbo. This should be a good contest right here.
Arthur Cruz with the blonde hair that Brian Bosworth cut.
He's going to start crying and complaining already.
That's a little bit frustrating, I gotta think.
It gets on you when the ref gets on your back. It's telling you to watch the hair, watch the hair.
And referee Ron West, a very experienced official. I'm surprised he's taking the word of Art Cruz. No disrespect meant to Art Cruz, but the official's got to see it before he can call it. Great arm drag takedown.
Another one. Oh, nice drop kick. Like I said, these two guys will be evenly matched. This should be a good contest.
Nice drop kick by Gary Young. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to address the Universal Heavyweight Championship situation later in the hour. I've got an interview with Michael Hayes. And Art Cruz brought very unceremoniously back into the ring by Gary Young.
Gary Young, excuse me, Jimbo, getting excited. Gary Young seems to be doing all the offensive moves right now. He's keeping after old Art.
I'm really pleasantly surprised at Young's agility. He's 6'3".
He's a big man.
Big man. He drop kicking extremely well in this matchup.
I tell you, that's what's hard. You know, you watch these guys on TV, you can't really tell the size of them. There's some big men in professional wrestling, big men.
I'd like to invite all the fans to join us in the Metroplex in Fort Worth at the Cowtown Coliseum next door to Billy Bob's. That's tomorrow night, the big national television taping, and the Popeyes Thanksgiving Superdome Extravaganza. Of course, in New Orleans, in the magnificent Superdome on Thanksgiving night.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Oh, yeah. And tickets go on sale this Tuesday at all Ticketmaster outlets. I'll have a phone number for you, an 800 number later in the hour. So get your pencil and paper handy. We'll tell you how you can order your tickets toll-free.
Well, Jimbo, while we've been gabbing away, old Art Cruz seemed to come up here with the upper hand.
Art Cruz, we've seen him in several stages of his career, and I think we're seeing him at the very best of his career. He's his best days are yet to come. I think both these young men haven't reached their potential, but he did pull the hair there.
Same thing he was complaining about early in the match.
Yeah,
See, he had the referee out of position there too. You know, all these little shortcuts that these guys take is something that you learn with experience, and Art Cruz has got that experience. That's why he's back here in the UWF.
Big overhand right. Now the elbow. Gary Young now, who was on the offensive, as Hacksaw Jim Duggan pointed out early in the match. But right now it's all Arthur Cruz offensively.
Old Gary Young needs to get something going pretty quick, or he's going to be in lots of trouble here. Dropped him on the ropes there, taking that hit you in the throat, knocks a lot of wind out of you, Jim.
Young tried to break that fall, but he didn't quite make it, and Cruz really planted another forearm right to the chest. Now Young is reeling.
That's a good job kicking out of there. He had the leg hooked. Old Gary Young did a good job getting out of that predicament.
Savannah Jack will go against the Libyan in our next matchup.
That's a strange story going on there, huh, Jim?
I think so. Savannah Jack. I tell you what, Jimbo, I will say this. I haven't agreed with his tactics. I didn't agree with anybody being with Akbar. That's, to me, I can't see that. But Savannah Jack stood up for what he believes in. We'll talk about that. Nice tackle, football tackle, shoulder block by Gary Young, but Cruz set himself for that second move.
That's a spot Cruz picked up that he didn't have before he left here. A lot of times you just go ahead and take the tackle. He got the knee up, got back on the offensive.
High elevation by Gary Young. Now Cruz is being punished by Gary Young from Houston, Texas. Arthur Cruz.
That's what it's all about, going for the win. You got to win.
Boy, Cruz, that's one way to stop the momentum and get your opponent off the offensive.
Well, I don't know, Jimbo. I kind of like it down there on the floor. If they want to go down there, that's old Hacksaw's kind of match. But good guy Gary Young back in the ring here.
You spend sometimes as much time out of the ring as in the ring, but Cruz went for the elbow, the coup de grace. There's a flying body press. He's got the leg grapevine.
Yep, that's it. Good contest between those two men.
An excellent opening contest on the Universal Wrestling program. Gary Young with a victory, and we'll be back. Savannah Jack in action after this timeout.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Libya at 250 pounds, the Libyan! And his opponent from Savannah, Georgia at 250 pounds, Savannah Jack! This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
And there, General Skandar Akbar and Nature Boy Buddy Landell making their way to the ring.
He got me kind of a little excited sneaking down here early, but I saw him.
Akbar certainly moved right past Hacksaw Duggan, but he's there with the Nature Boy.
All right, you listen good, Savannah Jack. I've been trying to hire some people to take care of you. Well, right now, I've got a gentleman standing at my left that says he can do the job. And guess what, boy? I believe him.
Let me tell you something, General. It's an honor to be seen out here with you and be connected with you, but don't look me in the eyeballs, all right, when I'm talking to you. And it's obvious that you're having headaches because you can't get the job done through these other people, but I'm telling you something, baby, the long green tells it all. And if I tell you a mouse can pull a box card, hook it up, you know what I'm talking about. And let me tell you something, Savannah, nothing, nobody. If you got the intestinal fortitude to come out here and wrestle me next week, I'll tear your head off, boy.
Boom!
Wow, what a kick. What a kick.
Look at Akbar. He's got another sub-5 40 time. Landell was super kicked right to the face. And now the Libyan's going to take a shortcut, and he's got it. Look at Landell.
I'd say that was a super kick. He knocked his block off. Oh, Jack's fired up, man. Look at this. Another super kick. Get him covered, baby. Wow, a quick one.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Savannah Jack, he's got a deadly foot. He put Landell on the skids, knocked him out of the ring. He chased Akbar out of the ring. Hacksaw, this man is here to fight.
I I can tell you, I can kind of understand him getting excited about Skandar Akbar. A lot of this happened while I was over in Japan, chasing Terry Gordy. Old Savannah Jack and Akbar had their falling out. But I tell you, he's got a kick to be reckoned with, and I just wish he could put it up along Skandar's head.
Hack, I know you got to get ready for your big six, man. Thanks very much for taking time to be with us.
Great, Jimbo. Good to be out here. And I'm going to go down there and get old Chris Adams fired up, get the old one link over there hitting his head on the wall. We're going to go out here and kick some tail.
And we'll be back. Well, thank you very much, and we'll be back with a special presentation with Dark Journey after this timeout from the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Tonight just might not be their night. But for me, tonight's my night. Eddie Gilbert, you stole my woman. You stole my bread and butter. You stole the way I feed my face. You took it right out from under me. Then you had the audacity to come out and have those two idiots hold me while you and Missy busted my face and put stitches in my face. You know what that feels like. It hurts. And that's just what I'm going to do to you.
Finally, face to face, man to mouse, right here. UWF television, nationally seen. It's going to happen. Me and you, Holly Goof, face to face, right here. And finally, I'm going to prove to everybody, I'm going to prove to Missy and Steiner and Sting that I am the better man. But more than that, when I beat you 1, 2, 3, we got a little surprise. And it's called yellow paint.
We're going to paint you the yellow coward that you are, John Taylor. You're not a real man. I've got the real man. And this man's going to beat you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I want to thank Hacksaw Duggan for being with us. It's certainly been a great program thus far without Michael Hayes. And I will have that interview in just a few moments in the next segment with Michael, and we'll address the UWF Heavyweight Championship situation, the Universal Heavyweight Championship situation. But right now, we're going to be going to the ring momentarily. Bruce Pritchard, our colleague from Houston, Texas, will be making a special presentation to the Female Personality of the Year as voted on by the wrestling fans, Dark Journey. And I think it's long overdue. Dark Journey gets her recognition. Let's go now to the presentation. Here's Bruce Pritchard and Dark Journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few months ago in Houston, Texas, the Wrestling Fans International Association held a convention of all the wrestling fans from all across the world. And in that convention, they voted awards for the most outstanding wrestler. And the winner of that was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But the winner of the most outstanding female personality of 1986 goes to the lady standing at my right, Dark Journey. She received her award a few months ago in Houston, Texas, but on behalf of all the fans in Houston, Texas, the Universal Wrestling Federation, we would like to present you with these dozen roses.
Thank you. I would like to say that...
Well, wait just a second. This is a little bit ridiculous. Eddie Gilbert, and she didn't get a chance to, look at this. There's no reason for this whatsoever. Missy Hyatt jealous that she didn't get the award. She hasn't been able to handle Dark Journey, and look at Eddie now. He tore up every rose in the bouquet. She didn't get a chance to say thanks to the fans, and he saves one rose for his lady. That's pathetic. That jealousy, that's pathetic, and it ruined her moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've seen enough of this. We'll be right back with more Universal action. Thanks very much for staying with us, everybody. Jim Ross back with you from the Tulsa Convention Center, and I'd like to apologize for what we've just seen. It's totally uncalled for. Obviously, our idea was to recognize Dark Journey, and quite obviously, Eddie Gilbert and Missy Hyatt had other thoughts. Be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most controversial topics of the year in regards to professional wrestling is the Universal Heavyweight Championship situation as it now stands. We saw at the beginning of the program Ted DiBiase beating Terry Gordy. We're going to hear from Ted DiBiase. We'll also hear from the champion. And Michael Hayes has also made a statement I think you'll find most interesting that not only addresses his absence here today, but also of something coming up I think you'll be very intrigued about. We're going to see that UWF heavyweight feature. It's, I think, very informative. Let's see it now. Without any comparison, you're watching it right here, and right there, that man and other top athletes in UWF are white. Look at Gordy. It's hard to say how much blood he has lost. He's still he's fighting back. He's got a bad wheel. He knows this is the match of his life. At this point in time, this is the match. He's got to hold on to the title.
Terry Bam Bam Gordy clearly showing the signs and effect of a brutal steel cage battle. And he's going for the pile driver, and DiBiase was able to stop the reversal. And if that pile driver would have worked, if Gordy was able to follow through, this match could have been history.
I think so, but I think just as it has happened, though, it could be very much the turning point. This could be the turning point right here. And DiBiase got him with a pile driver. DiBiase has nailed Bam Bam, and Bam Bam is motionless. DiBiase's won it. Bam Bam is not moving.
DiBiase has defeated Terry Bam Bam Gordy. This crowd is going crazy.
Ted DiBiase has become the second man to hold the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Hayes not on the program today. This interview pre-taped prior to going on the air. And Michael, it's a little bit coincidental in my opinion, the fact that you not being on the program on a very exciting hour. Does it have anything to do with the fact that Ted DiBiase beat Terry Gordy in Houston? Perhaps it's a little coincidence, maybe?
Here you go with your little investigative reporter routine, right? You know, when you have a football game, if you had Oklahoma against Miami, right? And you prepared all week for Miami, would it be fair to throw in Nebraska?
No.
No, it wouldn't. Well, why was it fair for Ted DiBiase to come down and take Dr. Death's place? Because Dr. Death couldn't make the match, could he?
Well, I understand the champion's a little upset about the situation.
A little upset is putting it mildly, Spanky.
He might have something to say, but...
Yeah, the champion does have something to say, and you'll get to see what he had to say. And this was immediately after this attempted ripoff. Grand theft, if you put it like that. You know, that's almost like a federal offense. Your face looked funny behind bars if you were part of this bureaucracy, wouldn't it? So I'm going to let you hear what the champion had to say. But remember, this was immediately after this ripoff tried to take place. Since then, he has had a meeting with me and Buddy, and he told us specifically that he's going to take care of this, and that he's got some big surprises, and you'll see what we're talking about next week. Now let's talk to the champ.
Ted DiBiase, let me tell you something, boy. You got something that don't belong to you. It belongs to me. It's something that I've worked long and hard for. And ain't no West Texas punk gonna come and steal my title away from me like that, because you know what's gonna happen? All hell's gonna break loose, boy, because you might have been a heck of a football player at West Texas State. But you're with the big boys now, and you got something that belongs to Terry Bam Bam Gordy. And that's the Universal Heavyweight title. Like I said, Ted DiBiase, I worked long and hard for it. And ain't you or nobody else gonna take it away from me.
You seen it, just like he said, worked for it all his life, and he ain't gonna have no punk like you take it, DiBiase. I think what the champ said was enough, and the surprise next week will speak for itself.
Well, Michael Hayes has made his comments perfectly clear. The surprise coming next week. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to have a word with Ted DiBiase. October 17th was a tremendous night in the career of Ted DiBiase. But it also, as it ended, Ted, had to be one of the most controversial nights in UWF history. I don't know of anyone that can explain this situation better than you. What is the status at this point in time of that match?
Well, the bottom line is this, Jim. When the Freebirds and Terry Gordy, Michael Hayes, and their lawyers went to the officials from the Universal Wrestling Federation the UWF's hands were tied because the bottom line is I did not sign a contract. I went out there, I was given permission to take Doc's place. I wrestled Terry Gordy. I pinned him in the middle of the ring, but because the contract was not signed, I am not legally the champion.
I know the fans here in Tulsa certainly, obviously don't agree with that judgment, but the bottom line was, and Hayes called everybody's hand on this situation, no contract was signed.
That's true, and that is the bottom line. Unofficially, or officially, I am not the champion. But what this did is it opened the door for me. A lot of you people know that you know my history, you know my background. I'm what you call a second generation wrestler. From day one in my life, I have lived, grown up, been nurtured, and lived and breathed professional wrestling. It's been my lifelong dream, my lifelong goal to be the best at my profession, to follow my father's footsteps, who was an AAU national champion out of Nebraska. He was a world junior heavyweight champion. I came from a great wrestling heritage, and I like to live up to my father's name and going on with my career. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back, I'm just stating the facts. I have held almost every major title in wrestling that there is to hold, except one, Terry Gordy, the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship. And the only reason that belt is not around my waist right now is because my name was not on the bottom line, not on the contract. Now, it's been said many times, Jim Ross, I've heard you say it 1,000 times, Ted DiBiase is the master tactician. For every trick in the book, Terry Gordy, I know another one. And what I know most of all right now, I'm not out here to say that I can beat you or anything else. I have beat you, and I know how to beat you. And the next time that it comes up, and it'll come up very soon because of what happened, I guarantee you my name will be on the bottom line, and that belt is coming home with me.
Those comments from Ted DiBiase, and we'll have more UWF action after this timeout.
The UWF, the most exciting wrestling of all. The UWF, that's where it is, because devastation is on the scene. It's megabucks. And when you talk about money, you talk about the general, the one-man gang, Bad Leroy Brown, and Wild Bill Irwin, the infamous Long Rider. Later on in this program, we got six-man tag team action. Oh, yeah, the slimy Chris Adams, the missing link, and lo and behold, that irresistible hippie Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Well, people, one man, tell them exactly how it is in devastation and what you got to do. Well, General, you know, I'm looking forward to the six-man action, but also looking for Terry Gordy, right, Michael Hayes, our Buddy Roberts. We got us three guys, myself, Bad Leroy, and Wild Bill. We looking for you boys. See, we court them all, Michael. Talking about you, Freebirds. You come on and get a little devastation also. You do.
Welcome back, everybody. Jim Ross along with Chavo Guerrero. Chavo, thanks for taking time to be with us. We got a great match to talk about. I know you're a busy man. We've just seen the Universal Heavyweight Championship update. A lot of people want a shot at that, like Dr. Death and Ted DiBiase and the One-Man Gang and Hacksaw Duggan. And let's add to that list Chavo Guerrero.
Oh, you bet. You know, what a match. What a match. And unfortunately, there was no contract signed, as you have said. And Terry Gordy is still the champion. But there's a lot of people after him.
Exactly right. I look forward to Chavo's keen insight to what we're about to see, ladies and gentlemen. Great tag team action. Terry Taylor and the Iceman against Nature Boy Buddy Landell and Jack Victory. We've got a lot of exciting things left in the hour. I'm glad Chavo's with us. And now let's go to ring announcer Mike Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from Hollywood, California, at 240 pounds, Nature Boy Buddy Landell. Also introducing from Hollywood, California, at 265 pounds, Jack Victory.
I noticed, Chavo, that Landell was still rubbing his jaw. That super kick from Savannah Jack really rocked the young man from the West Coast.
I'll tell you what, I know Chris Adams does a super kick. I do a variation of a super kick, but this Savannah Jack, the way he hit, I don't know which one's the best one, but the way he hit, Buddy Landel, I guarantee you get rates among the top kicks up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the Popeyes Thanksgiving Superdome Extravaganza on Thanksgiving night. As we hear Sister Sledge, the music will bring Iceman King Parsons and Terry Taylor to the ring. If you live out of Louisiana, you can call 1-800-535-5151 for ticket information. 1-800-535-5151. The event of the year in the Superdome on Thanksgiving night as Terry Taylor and the Iceman come to the ring, and no doubt who the crowd favorite is here, Chavo.
I'll tell you, you're talking about the event of the year. How about this match? Look at this match right here. Look at the contestants right there. That in itself will be a main event. The Iceman, Terry Taylor, former TV champion.
In the ring, from Vero Beach, Florida, at 232 pounds, Terry Taylor. Also introducing at 230 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, the Iceman, King Parsons. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
And if you're wondering, ladies and gentlemen, why Jack Victory isn't teaming with Hollywood John Tatum in this match, it's because coming up next, we will have Hollywood John Tatum one-on-one with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. That match coming up next, plus the big six-man, Hacksaw Duggan, Gentleman Chris Adams, and the Missing Link going against Devastation Incorporated.
What's going to happen in that match, Ross?
I'll tell you.
Can you give me one certain thing? There's anything that can happen.
And Tatum and Gilbert's match are
Yes, Tatum and Gilbert.
Somebody's going to get hurt because it's gone past competitiveness. It's personal.
Not only that, but you know, there's so many people involved. Is Sting going to come down? Is Steiner? What's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. I'd hate to be the referee in this match. I'll tell you that right now.
Exactly right. Now we've got Iceman King Parsons in there with Jack Victory. Interesting situation here because these four men don't normally team together. So it's going to be interesting to see which team can adapt the quickest and get the teamwork down, who can implement their game plan the quickest and make it work for them.
You know, Jim, you've made a very good point right now. When you work together like the Fantastics, which they are fantastic, they know their moves, they know they think together. These people, like you said, they're taking out for the first time, and they're all great athletes. You can see that right there. And it's going to be interesting to see how they combine their talents and to see the victor in this match.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the national television taping this Sunday night in the Metroplex in Fort Worth at the Cowtown Coliseum next to the legendary and massive Billy Bob's Texas. Also next week here on the program, 2 championship matches. Plus we'll know exactly what the big surprise is that the champ has in store for us. So that should be quite a situation here next week on the program. But this is a great tag team match, as Chavo so adeptly pointed out. Landel, what can you say about him, Chavo? You can't trust him at all.
Oh, no. You can't trust him at all. Plus the fact that he's a former national television champion, and he has improved 1,000%. And look at this Iceman go.
Iceman King Parsons. He's rocking, he's rolling, and he's juking and jiving. He is the Iceman from St. Louis. I tell you, this guy has gotten in tremendous condition, and he's worked so hard just in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and Landel just got introduced to Terry Taylor as if he needed an introduction.
I tell you, man, I've been around the Iceman. I like to party with him, and like he's doing it right now, like he says. That's the way it be sometimes, man.
Sometimes that's it. Now, Terry Taylor and Landel have a long history with each other. Shoulder block by Taylor. That Taylor reverses with a high hip lock and an arm drag takedown. What a phenomenal series of moves, and Landel doesn't like it, Chavo.
Well, I'll tell you what, he doesn't like it because he got the short end of the stick, but look at this. I was just going to say that. Don't catch Buddy Landel short because he's going to do something to break the rules. But Terry Taylor does what he's got to do and come right back to the arm, which is the sign of a good tag team action.
Taylor really looks spectacular here. I know he wants a match with Buddy Roberts in the worst way.
Well, I'll tell you what, I want a match with Buddy Roberts.
A lot of guys do, I hear that. All right, now the tag is made. Victory has tagged out, but he's abusing the 4 count.
As a matter of fact, you got to get through Buddy Roberts to get to Bam Bam.
That's the whole story.
That's it.
Freebirds know that. Left hand by the Iceman. And Landel. Boy, Landel, he had to dig down on his bag of tricks there, and he's making the tag and getting out of there.
I'll tell you, Buddy Landel can go one-on-one with you. I've wrestled Landel many times, and he'll go one-on-one on you. He'll break the rules if he's got to, which he usually does, but he'll go on and he won't chicken out. He went just like we saw right there with Iceman. He did what he had to do, and he did the right thing. He tagged out and let freshman in there with Jack Victory.
Oh, knee lift! Oh, that was thunderous. That echoed here at the Tulsa Convention Center, and it caught Victory right in the face.
I'll tell you what, these people are standing up, and I'm about ready to stand up myself. What a match.
There's a tag! Terry Taylor and Landell came in, but he has not tagged. Now all four of them in the ring. The Iceman with a headbutt.
Good combination, good thinking, good thinking.
The referee's got to get this thing back together in a hurry.
Yes, sir. He's got the post order in there. There's going to be a one match to throw them together.
Taylor went with hit Victory. The axe is too fast to call.
Iceman. Ooh, what a move! Did you see the teamwork there, Jim Ross?
Taylor with a 5-arm.
3.
Great teamwork by the Iceman. And Terry Taylor.
The Iceman, King Parsons.
What a victory! The crowd loves it here in Tulsa. We are family. This is the Universal Wrestling Federation, and Chavo Guerrero and I'll be right back. It's Hollywood and hot stuff when we come back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There they are, hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert and Missy Hyatt. Decked out in very splendidly, I might say, very nice matching outfits. It'll be Hollywood John Tatum and Eddie Gilbert, Chavo. This one runs deeper than professional wrestling.
I'll tell you what, I hate to say this, but I'm impressed.
Introducing, accompanied by Missy Hyatt at 235 pounds, from every girl's dream, hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert.
Carrying that one rose in the ring, and what's she got in her hand? A bottle or what is that? I'd like to get a close shot of that. It looks like
I don't know, but
spray paint or
spray can, perfume or something. Oh, I think she's disinfecting the ring.
That's paint, man.
Is that paint?
Yes, sir. That's paint. I wonder now. This could be settled man to man, but I don't think that's a little bit. She's a jealous, petty young lady to come interrupt Dark Journey situation, and she got her one rose. That's real sweet.
I'll tell you what, this is what I call, I guess, a man without a country. Oh, they're right into it, Jim. They're getting right into it, just what we expected.
Hollywood John Tatum and hot stuff. They're battling for more than professional athlete against professional athlete.
This has gotten more like a sportsmanship. It's uncouth, it's uncalled for, it's gone too far, and I bet you what, they're going to settle it, and there's a woman involved, and you know what that happens, man. There's jealousy, like you said. What's going to happen, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Tatum was busted open just a few weeks ago by Missy Hyatt in her Gucci bag. Eddie Gilbert, there's the bag, on her arm.
I'll tell you what, she's holding a flower. What she did with Dark Journey. Now, Dark Journey is, I'm proud of that young lady, man. She has come a long way in professional wrestling to be one of the top ballets in the country, in the world. This is her first national TV award, and what happens? These people come in and they destroy her flowers. That's uncalled for.
It's jealousy. It's jealousy. The young lady's used to having everything she wants. That young lady I'm talking about.
And she didn't even get to thank the public with, you know.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was really, I hate to even talk about it. And Eddie Gilbert going for the elbow, and Tatum moves out of the way. You can bet Missy has been giving John Tatum a verbal tongue lashing.
I'll tell you what's interesting about this match, that both men, Tatum has been with Missy, and now Gilbert's been with Missy, and they would have both done the same thing with Dark Journey, and now they're battling each other, and there's a woman involved, and like you said, this is going to be very interesting.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Chavo Guerrero for being here with us. Chavo, thanks for being with us. I know you got to go, but thanks very much for being with us. Chavo Guerrero has another commitment. Thank you very much for being here with us, and right back to the match. The Lovers Triangle. Look at Tatum taunting Missy Hyatt. And John Tatum now has taken over on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert now with a kick. I'll tell you, look at him strut. He thinks he's about 300 pounds, 6'8" or 9, and he's not. But he is tough, and he will do anything it takes to keep Missy's favor. And Tatum, I don't think he cares a darn thing about Missy anymore whatsoever. He just wants a piece of Eddie Gilbert, and then if he gets to get his hands on Missy, well, I hate to think of what would happen there. Now Gilbert, the referee, has got to really assert himself here. There's a lot more on the line here. The referee knows that they're trying to bring things in the ring. Now they've got to be careful, as that ring bell could put you on Dream Street for a long time to come. Gilbert with a clothesline, and he got it. Tatum was just doubled up, and Missy liked it. Of course she would. There's a tag, or the pinning predicament, excuse me. Sometimes with Missy Hyatt there, and you know how I feel about that presentation situation. It was totally distasteful on Gilbert and Hyatt's part, and it's hard to get it out of your mind. Going for the suplex, and Tatum got it. They jockeyed for position, then Hollywood John got the suplex. He's wobbling. He still feels that clothesline, man. Now Gilbert and Tatum with a right hand from downtown. Tatum on the offensive. And now Tatum with his clothesline. And look at him, look at Missy. Her expression has changed on many occasions in this matchup because the momentum has changed so many times. Tatum with the elbow, and he got it right in the chest. Pinning predicament here. You got to think that Tatum would like to just incapacitate Gilbert and let him have his way with Missy Hyatt. And Dark Journey has gone to the ring, and now she has got Missy Hyatt. Dark Journey was humiliated and embarrassed. Now Gilbert getting out of the ring. Gilbert's getting Dark Journey off of Missy. Look at her slap him. He started Missy Hyatt. Oh, look at Gilbert hit her. Missy Hyatt hit her. Now Gilbert hit her right in the back of the head with that purse. What kind of man would hit a woman with a purse? She was hit twice. Missy hit her the first time, and then Gilbert hit a woman. Look at this. Tatum was punished by Gilbert. Now they're getting that can out. He's painting her. Eddie Gilbert is painting Dark Journey. I cannot believe what we're seeing here. I cannot believe what we're seeing. I cannot. John Tatum had the chance to help her, and he walked off. I cannot believe this. Hyatt and Hosta, they knocked her out. They painted her. This is appalling. The link is there. It's appalling. Ladies and gentlemen, she is hurt. We've got to get out of this, but we'll be back. We've got some time left. We'll be back after this from the UWF.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from Devastation Incorporated, from Chicago at 488 pounds, the One-Man Gang. Also from Chicago at 360 pounds, Bad Leroy Brown. And from Minnesota at 290 pounds, Wild Bill Irwin.
Devastation
And of course,
Incorporated.
they're accompanied by General Skandor Akbar.
Certainly well represented. Akbar's got a big team, the smallest man at 290. Don't forget, Popeye's Thanksgiving Extravaganza. Tickets go on sale this Tuesday in New Orleans at all Ticketmaster outlets. The key event of the fall, the Thanksgiving. Popeye's Thanksgiving Superdome Wrestling Extravaganza in the magnificent Superdome in New Orleans, Thanksgiving night. Don't forget, here next week, 2 championship matches on the program. We'll find out what the champ surprise is, Terry Gordy's surprise. And this match scheduled to be the Missing Link, Silver Chris Adams and Hacksaw Duggan. But the Link carried Dark Journey out of the ring. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get him back together to get him in the ring. This could be a very tough situation.
Now entering the ring, introducing first, from Glen Falls, New York, at 280 pounds, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Also introducing from England, at 240 pounds, Gentleman Chris Adams.
I'm sure that the ring
This
announcer,
match, 1 fall or television time remaining.
Mike Wilson, was like the rest of us waiting on the Missing Link, but The Link was so distraught with Dark Journey, he has not come to the ring, and I don't really think that he will. And this thing is broken down. Akbar's got devastation, and it's 3 against 2, so Akbar should certainly like that, but it's not working. There goes Wild Bill Irwin. Leroy Brown is in the ropes, and he has been super kicked by gentleman Chris Adams. Hacksaw Duggan taking over in the one-man gang, and now Wild Bill Irwin. And devastation is in a bad, bad way. Remember, it's scheduled to be a 6-man tag team matchup. And look at Hacksaw Duggan. Look at that strength. Brown at 360 plus. And Duggan with a right hand all the way from Glens Falls with that one. And now he's manhandling Wild Bill Irwin, who's at 290 plus. Hacksaw Duggan is standing tall in the UWF. And there were rumors that he was leaving. I think Akbar might have started that one. He's here to stay in the UWF. Look at that! What velocity by Duggan! Irwin almost went over the top and over the post. His foot caught the top rope, or he would have went all the way out. Duggan is in rare form here on the UWF. Hacksaw Duggan now with a tag, and gentleman Chris Adams right off the top. Boy, that's a dangerous maneuver there. Adams with the right hand, double leg takedown. Picked up both legs. Slingshot it. Ooh. Oh, that hurt. Oh, my goodness. Duggan, he planted that big ham and a great A-ham to boot on the mug of Wild Bill Irwin. High elevation. In the lights was Irwin. Chris Adams and Hacksaw Duggan look tremendous. And remember, it's 2-on-3, scheduled to be the Link. And obviously, he's so distraught in this Dark Journey situation. Ooh, Adams caught coming in. That big boot, there you see him, all the way to the knees. Now look at the gang, look at the big man move in there. 488, ladies and gentlemen, 6'9", 488. He wants the Universal Championship. You can bet on that. Akbar says he's going to get it. He's got a man to go through, and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. We all know that. Look at Akbar down there. Look at Akbar. The referee is trying to put Hacksaw Duggan out of the ring. Oh! Akbar just rammed Adams right into the post. Duggan walking right across the announcer's table. Coming outside. Akbar, this thing is really getting out of hand. The referee is getting it. He's getting manhandled too. Akbar has got everything his way. 4 of his people and himself. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but the action here in the UWF is so hard to keep up with. We're doing our best. It's 4-on-2, and bad Leroy coming off that second rope. Leroy with a big right hand to the head of Chris Adams. Leroy, a lot of spring, a lot of fire. Leroy Brown, you see it on his boots from Chicago, and there's a headbutt. Wild Bill Irwin now. Illegal man in the ring. There was a tag, no doubt about that. We don't have a lot of airtime left. Remember, 2 championship matches here next week, and I can't wait to find out what is Terry Gordy's surprise. We'll know here next week, but he can't. That's not a pinning predicament. I thought he was in the ropes, but I'm not officiating either, so I'll let Tommy Gilbert do that. He's doing a great job, the best he can. Right hand, Wild Bill Irwin, and Adams has been lacerated. It happened outside there. Akbar ran into the post, and we have less than a minute to go. Irwin and devastation taking over a lacerated Chris Adams. Remember, it was supposed to be a 6-man. The missing link they weren't able to get him to the ring.